went out walking through streets paved with gold, lifted some stones, saw the skin and bones of a city without a soul. I went out walking under an atomic sky, where the ground won't turn and the rain it burns like the tears when I said goodbye.
Our tribute here at Fox to the late Johnny Cash as we welcome you back to Tampa. Kenny Albert with Brian Baldinger. Brian, the story of the first half: defense, defense, and more defense.
It's like the offenses were like a boy named Sue, and neither one of them have been treated very well here today by these defenses. Really, Tampa Bay's defense has played great, but Carolina's been more opportunistic, and the defense that continues to be more opportunistic is going to win this ballgame.
Panthers leading John Gruden's Buccaneers by the score of 6-0. John Casey connecting on field goals of 28 and 35 yards. Panthers also blocked a Martin Gramatica field goal attempt. Second half underway. Gramatica's kick taken at the 2 by Rod Smart. Smart out across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Jack Golden made the stop on special teams. 26-yard return by Rod Smart. Stephen Davis, 68 yards in all in the first half, 50 on the Panthers' opening drive of the game.
Yeah, and but neither one of these teams is ever going to stand pat. If something isn't working, both these teams are going to adjust. They're going to change. And so Stephen Davis ripped off some beautiful runs to start this game, and they've gotten away from that. And I would think that would be a good way to start the second half, is to run them right in between those tackles.
Panthers starting from their own 28-yard line. Play action. Delhomme to the near side, and the pass is caught for a first down by Steve Smith. Gain of 14 yards.
Well, see, at least that was all play action. So they faked it to Stephen Davidson, who had success in the first half. And so they gave Jake a lot of time there. A good play action fake, allowed the ball to get down the field. And Steve Smith is the one big playmaker they have on the offense. A guy that can stretch the field, that can take it to distance. You want to get the ball in his hands a lot more. He only had one catch in that first half.
And Brian, for the Panthers, that's their first down since the opening possession. From the 42. Delhomme on first down, caught by Muhammad, who climbed the ladder, made the catch for another Panther first down in Buccaneer territory, a gain of 20 yards.
And it's clear that Carolina said they're going to attack to start the second half. They're not going to sit back and be content. And what you have here is one safety. Because here's the other one, John Lynch. So you've got one-on-one on the outside. This is not a zone. This isn't Tampa Bay cover 2. This is strictly man-to-man. They went to Muhsin Muhammad, the ball high against Brian Kelly. And Brian Kelly knew that. He said, we play a lot of man-to-man when we brought John Lynch down. We've got to hold up.
From the 38-yard line of Tampa Bay, the handoff to Davis. Stephen Davis brought down to 36. Gain of just 2. Derek Brooks. Anthony McFarland in on the tackle. Remember, Brian, it was the Panthers' opening drive of the second half last week. That was the key to their comeback in the victory over Jacksonville.
Well, it was, Kenny. And, it really, sometimes the game is in the hands of the coordinators. Dan Henning for Carolina, Monty Kiffin for Tampa. And you always want to kind of do what you think the guy's not going to do and change up. And right now, I think Monty thought they were going to come out and run, and they come out and throw. And so when you can do that to a defense and to the coordinator, you generally have the upper hand.
It's a chess match. Second down and 7. Panthers with an empty backfield, and the pass is caught by Ricky Prohl. Buccaneer fans certainly remember Prohl from the NFC Championship game. He was a Ram following the 1999 regular season. Prohl caught the game-winning touchdown for the Rams to defeat the Bucs in the NFC Championship game.
This was in St. Louis. Kurt Warner, boy, they needed one play. They got one play against Tampa that day, and Ricky Prohl made it just the way he did last week in the game winner against Jacksonville.
Delhomme to the air again. It's complete. Muhsin Muhammad, who lost the football, but play was ruled incomplete. There's a penalty marker back at the 33-yard line as well.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 52. Defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Nate Webster.
Here's what's going on now. I mean, right now, Tampa Bay is playing man-to-man. Here it is. And you're going to get this up here right now because here comes Lynch and there goes the safety. You've got to be able to make these throws against this defense. It's a small hole. It's tight, but you can't be afraid to pull the trigger. Well, right now, Carolina is attacking Tampa Bay, and that was something that they said in the locker room at halftime, and now Jake Delhomme just took the necessary hit from Nate Webster, the middle linebacker.
And Brian, that's the third personal foul, third 15-yard penalty called on the Buccaneers today. Delhomme looking for Brad Hoover, the fullback, and it's off his fingertips.
I tell you, Kenny, you know, you talk about Jake Delhomme here, and he's coming in against the Super Bowl champs, and it's his first start in 3 years. He's on the road, and it's a hornet's nest here. But I like the way Carolina has come out and said, we're not going to protect this guy. We're going to let him throw the football. You got to do that at quarterback. It's kind of like a Louisiana mallard there. The time that he probably hunted down in the swamps of Breaux Bridge a couple of times, but he's going to get another shot here.
2nd and 10. Delhomme in trouble. Penalty marker, maybe another face mask on the Bucs as Delhomme throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Smith. One of the Bucs may have grabbed hold of Delhomme's face mask.
A lot of face masks today.
I would think this will be a 5-yard, not a 15.
Well, anytime you want to try to protect the quarterback, though, sometimes they get the benefit of the doubt.
There are fouls by both teams. Holding, number 65, offense. Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, number 99, defense. Those fouls all set. It's 2nd down.
So Sapp did grab hold, but the penalty's offset.
Sapp right in the middle. He's being held by Kevin Donnelly. There's the hold. And then the face mask, kind of incidental and accidental as Sapp was going to the ground, but that's the quarterback, and they're going to protect him in this league.
Now 2nd and 10 from the Buccaneers, 13. More flag.
Before the snap, false start, 45, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
One of the reasons why Jake Delhomme is even in a uniform today was for 2 years in a row he went over to NFL Europe to play. And it is a great training ground for all young quarterbacks who don't get an opportunity. 6 of them starting today. I mean, Kurt Warner not starting, but Kelly Holcomb in Cleveland. Jay Friedler won a big game in the Meadowlands today. Brad Johnson, Super Bowl champion quarterback. And you talk to all of those guys, and all of them will say that without the experience in Europe, I wouldn't have gotten a chance to start in this league.
On the 18 on 2nd and 15. Delhomme, couple of pump fakes, and then he throws it away.
You know, they've got a vote this weekend. He's talking about NFL Europe. It's been a great training ground, and the commissioner is all behind it. Gene Upshaw, the players' union, loves it because it gives more players a 2nd and 3rd chance to finish their careers. But there's going to be a league-wide vote on Wednesday whether to continue the league or not. And you look down the field, you see all the players that are out there. The Tampa Bay had 13 players from that league on their Super Bowl roster a year ago, and our referee today, Walt Anderson, who's got a lot of airtime today, throwing a lot of flags, spent 7 years over there. Nearly 100 of the officials all spent time training there.
And some announcers as well.
Yeah.
The pitch to Stephen Davis, and it did not fool the Buccaneers. Rondé Barber came up to make the tackle along with Simeon Rice. More extracurricular activities, 2 more penalty flags.
It's almost getting out of control here, you know, on both sides. And it's a divisional game, and both these defenses are going at it and competing against one another, but nobody's playing with control right now.
Well, prior to these last 2 flags, there had been 15 penalties called in the last 10 minutes of play. To take it back to the 2nd quarter, Panthers called for 11 of the 15 penalties. 11 Panther penalties the last 10 minutes.
Foul, unnecessary roughness, number 55.
This is the 4th
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 96.
And the 5th.
Both fouls occurred after the play. We will penalize half the distance to the goal.
Buccaneers 5
automatic first down.
personal fouls. And we are just 3 minutes into the third quarter.
And it gives them a first down, Kenny, and a new set of downs here. I don't know, Derek Brooks, I guess the second guy in, right? I mean, Brooks was clearly trying to get away from the action.
So a first down, first and goal from the Buccaneers' 9-yard line. Stephen Davis. Davis pushing the pile down to the 5. Ryan Neese, the son of Ronnie Lott, made the tackle after a gain of 4.
Remember last week in the opening drive, the Eagles got down to first and goal at the 1 because of some penalties. And that defense just reared its head, you know, and said, we are the Super Bowl champs. We are going to defend our goal line. And here a couple of times today, Carolina inside the 5, a chance to get to the end zone. Haven't gotten there. The defense is playing great for Tampa outside of a few penalties.
From the 5, it's Davis again. Up the middle. Down to the 3-yard line. Helmet went flying.
We've seen that today.
So it will be third and goal.
You see Kevin Donnelly over there. He's got a helmet in his hand, looking for somebody to give it to. Oh, Stephen Davis in a meeting yesterday. You know, he's very quiet. You got to get a few words out of him. He said he doesn't talk any trash, but when they rip your helmet off, you usually have something to say.
You don't need to talk trash when you've beaten world record holder Tim Montgomery 4 out of 5 times in the 100-meter.
He went into there with no helmet on. You don't want to talk trash without a helmet in this league.
Third and goal from the 2. Off the play fake. Delone looking corner of the end zone. Another flag. John Howell with the coverage on Muhsin Muhammad.
I don't know if that ball was catchable. Oh, offensive. Against Muhammad.
Offensive pass interference.
Woo! Shit! That was Muhammad just pushing off here.
Pass interference
Against John Howell.
Offense. The penalty is declined. It's fourth down.
Well, that's not a good throw by Jake. You got to at least give the receiver a chance to catch it, even with the interference.
And the Buccaneers decline the penalty, which leads to a fourth down field goal attempt. 20-yard attempt. Basically an extra point. Casey 2 for 2 today. Make it 3 for 3. And 11 play, 70-yard drive. John Fox's Panthers have extended their lead to 9-0.
I love coming to Tampa. It's my favorite stop around the league.
You've been telling me that for the last 3 days.
And you see why now, right?
Very nice welcome here in Tampa.
Over at One Buck Place, they welcome us all day Friday. I like the ribs off the grill on Friday afternoon.
Aaron Stecker. And guess what? Another flag.
It'll be a hold against Tampa. We're walking back half the distance here.
Will John Gruden go to sleep tonight?
No. Well, you know, he didn't sleep coming off the Monday night game. He rolled in here about 5 o'clock and went to work on Tuesday morning.
Number 89, return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
The 7th Tampa Bay penalty. Panthers have committed 9. Early third quarter. Temperature has dropped just below 100 down on the field, Brian.
It doesn't feel like it, although there's some clouds moved in, giving a little bit of cover here. It's still sauna-like down there on the field.
Following yet another penalty. Buccaneers start from the 10. Thomas Jones out of bounds at the 16. More flags. Jones gaining 6 on the play. It's a hold against the Bucs.
Holding, number 32, offense. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
Well, that's what Tampa Bay has done today. They've had 3 good drives, but they can't finish them. They had an interception, the blocked field goal, and then they were forced to punt. So because of the penalties and because of mistakes, they haven't been able to finish anything they've been able to start. Here on the outside is the hold by Pittman against Terry Cousins. And that's flagrant. That's in plain view for everyone to see.
3 wide receivers. Johnson over the middle to Keyshawn. And it's incomplete. He's unable to make the catch. Will Witherspoon with the hard hit to knock it out. And we head west. JB, what's going on?
Kenny and Bryant is a nice combination indeed, as is the case with Matt Hasselbeck and Darrell Jackson. This is their second hookup of the day. This one, 66 yards to pay dirt to go along with what was a 55-yarder earlier. 31-0 spanking of Arizona. Wow, back to Kenny and Bryant.
And that's 2 big offensive explosions back-to-back week against New Orleans last week and now against Arizona today.
2 big offensive explosions against the Cardinals. Another flag. They allowed 42 points against the Lions last Sunday.
This is absurd.
You know, we always hear that you could call holding at every play if you wanted to. Well, they have today.
Well, they have, yeah. I don't agree with that, but they have here. I don't know how many penalties Tampa Bay's had in a row. John Fox wants holding in the end zone as a safety, and that's what John Fox was saying. Offensive holding in the end zone, if that's where it occurred, is a safety. And so now Walt Anderson has to see where the holding occurred.
Holding, number 72, offense. Penalty is declined, third down.
Well, obviously it wasn't in the end zone. They wouldn't have declined that. But here's Roman Oben working up against Mike Rucker on the outside, 93. See, and see the Oben there? He ducked his head. He's in bad position. That was close to being in the end zone as well.
Looked like Oben actually let go as he straddled the goal line. Penalty decline, third down and 12. Johnson in trouble, and he throws it away. Rucker coming up the middle, applying pressure.
Boy, and I tell you, Mike Rucker went right through Roman Oben right there. Just a power run. Went on his outside shoulder and drove him right to the quarterback. Mike Rucker is an unknown in this league, but he had 10 sacks last year. He had 3 in the opening week here last week against Jacksonville. And when you start double-teaming Chris Jenkins or Julius Peppers, Mike Rucker's going to get one-on-one like he was, and he's capable of doing that.
And he told us yesterday, we want to be where Tampa Bay's D-line is. Cooper punting from his own end zone, his third punt this afternoon. Taken at the 38-yard line by Steve Smith. Good coverage by the Buccaneers special teams, and another flag comes out. 7-yard return after the 55-yard punt by Tupa.
So one of the side judges have their hat off, which means there was a penalty out of bounds.
Line Judge Gary Arthur threw his hat. So did the field judge Bill Lovett.
Hope they put the sunscreen on top of the head today. The illegal man downfield and the face mask. Double penalty by Tampa.
There are 2 fouls on the play. An eligible member of the kicking team, number 27, downfield. That penalty is declined. During the run back, personal foul, face mask, number 31, Tampa Bay. 15-yard penalty, First down.
Tim Wansley is called for the face mask. The 6th personal foul.
Jeez.
Called on the Buccaneers today. There it is. Back in Tampa in this second half, there have been 14 offensive plays, 6 penalties, 5 of the 6 called on the Bucs.
And that defensive line, to me, looks fresh over there and confident.
First and 10 from the 43. The long pass deflected and then caught by Muhsin Muhammad at the 40-yard line. A gain of 3. Warren Sapp got a piece of it.
Jake, you know, everybody in Charlotte, and especially in Carolina, and within the team, talked about Jake and what a spark he was last week. But you know you've been around for a while and nobody knows who you are when the first line every paper you read this week was how to pronounce Stallone. You know, it's been in the league 7 years. You'd think that people would know how to pronounce the name. In French, it means the man, and he doesn't have to be the man here today, way the defense is playing.
Here's Stephen Davis on 2nd and 7. In fact, Jake told us when he calls a hotel or a restaurant on the phone and has to give his name, he said, if I say Delhomme, they don't understand me, so I say Delhomme.
Yeah, well, you know, he's a Cajun. He's from that the shrimp capital of the world, right there in a town called Breaux Bridges, right outside of Lafayette, the heart of the Cajun community, and he sounds like it. He's never going to lose that brogue. He'll be a country boy, and he's got a chance here on 3rd down to make a play, hold on to his ball.
Panthers have converted only 1 3rd down opportunity today. Penalty markers on 3rd and 6.
Full start. Number 17. Offense. Head bob. 5-yard penalty.
Delhomme is
Still
one of
3rd down.
5 starting quarterbacks in the NFL from the state of Louisiana, along with Tommy Maddox, Peyton Manning, Patrick Ramsey, Cordell Stewart. So 5 out of the 32. That's 16% of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL are from Louisiana. And Terry Bradshaw would be pleased to know that only 1.5% of the U.S. population lives in Louisiana, yet 16% of the starting quarterbacks come from Terry's home state.
And 3 of those guys have already won today.
Here's Delhomme on 3rd and 11. He's taken down. He lost the football. It is still loose, bouncing around out of bounds.
Tampa Bay never had possession. This will still be Carolina's ball.
They'll punt.
Yeah.
The first Buccaneer sack of the day.
Tampa Bay comes with the blitz. You got Lynch up the middle, and then Simeon Rice, who's setting the standard for pass rushing in this league right now, beats Todd Stussy around the corner.
Something he did 4 times last year. Rice had 4 sacks in 2 games against the Panthers in 2002.
Once again, the defense answers the bell.
Low snap. Salve run with good hang time. Williams lets it bounce, and it bounces into the end zone. And now, Buccaneers try and bring it out.
They send a touchback.
53-yard punt. 33 net. More penalty flags. Buccaneers tried to catch the Panthers off guard, but it had already been ruled a touchback.
I see flags all over the field. That's a surprising statement here today, but there's a triangle of flags out there on the field.
See, one's on the 21-yard line. There's a flag on the 28, a flag on the 44.
Maybe they're just falling out of the pockets. They've been out so much, maybe they're not stuffing them back in the pockets good enough.
There have already been 193 penalty yards assessed in today's game.
How many yards rushing did Jamal Lewis have today?
295.
There may be more penalty flags than what Jamal Lewis ran for Baltimore today.
Walt Anderson wondering why he chose to become a referee.
Well, this is only Walt Anderson's second start as a referee. Been upgraded from umpire, where he was last year. 2 new referees in the league this year.
The ball was recovered in the end zone by Tampa Bay. During the return, there were fouls by both teams. Illegal substitution by the kicking team and illegal substitution by the return team. Players from both benches coming onto the field during the play. By rule, since the ball ended up in the end zone, it is a touchback, will belong to Tampa Bay at the 20-yard line, first down.
Players on both sidelines thought the play was over. They came running it onto the field. The end result, it was over. Ruled a touchback.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 38. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans. And by Castrol Syntec, everything else is just motor oil.
Back in Tampa, Kenny Albert, Brian Baldinger. Tampa Bay Buccaneers trailing the Carolina Panthers 9-0. Both Buccaneer touchdowns on Monday night came in the fourth quarter. Buccaneers start from their own 20-yard line. Play action. Johnson complete to Allstott, and he picked up the first down, gain of 12, out to the 32.
Tampa Bay trying to change the rhythm of the game here. Up-tempoing the game by going no huddle and calling the plays right at the line of scrimmage.
Johnson to the air again on first down. It's complete to Michael Pittman out of the backfield. Broke a tackle. And Pittman up to the 49-yard line. Gain of 18 yards for Pittman.
And the other thing that a no huddle will do to a defensive line, Kenny, it will exhaust them. Nothing is more exhausting than rushing the quarterback, coming back, circling back, putting your hand down the ground and rushing him again. I think this will help to try and slow down the rush a little bit.
Brian, we've gone 2 straight plays without a penalty. Johnson to the air again on first down. Dropped by Keyshawn. He was open, but could not make the catch.
No, Brad delivered a perfect ball to him. And after the catches we've seen Keyshawn have so far this year, it's almost like he was too open. He started thinking about running with that ball, knowing that nobody was right behind him. He knows it himself. The shame of it all.
Keyshawn with a team-high 6 receptions for 64 yards. 2nd and 10 from the 49. 3 wide receivers split to the left. Ron Johnson on 2nd and 10 off the fingertips of Joe Jurevicius.
Johnson pass intended for Joe Jurevicius. Incomplete.
Defensive line has been close to dominant today by the Carolina Panthers. Comparing the 2 of them so far today, Carolina's forced a couple 6 hurries, 2 more than Tampa Bay, 3 more hits than the Bucs have had, and they also have blocked the field goal. Chris Jenkins blocked the field goal and they've intercepted a pass, so they've also got to the quarterback and then they've made big plays.
Al Wallace had the interception.
False start, 65, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Jason Whittle, the right guard. Been a big day for the Panthers defensive line. A tip there by Jenkins. Blocked field goal by Jenkins. And the Wallace interception returned at 53 yards, and it led to a Carolina field goal just before the half.
Help put points on the board for him.
Johnson dumping it off to Allstott. Another flag. Allstott to the Carolina 44. Stopped 3 yards shy of the marker. He gained 12.
See, Jurevicius is down on the play right now. A couple guys from Tampa Bay on the field. along with Allstott. I think they ran into each other, just a collision between the two of them.
Allstott up on his feet.
That's exactly what. Oh gosh, they got right on the knee there of Jurevicius, bent it right back. Oh, this is not pretty. Tampa Bay coming into today really just had the one injury to Shelton Quarles. Broke his forearm in practice last week. A little mumbling going on about exactly how that occurred. Otherwise, a very healthy football team.
Holding, number 67, offense. 10-yard penalty. Still third down.
Jurevicius remains down. With 5:19 remaining in the third quarter.
Well, you know, that's the other statistic that we haven't put up on the screen there. When you look at defensive line dominance, how many holding calls are they forcing? And a bunch so far by Tampa today.
Joe Jurevicius taken to the Buccaneers locker room on the cart while we were away. Jurevicius, the hero for the Buccaneers in the victory on Monday night over the Philadelphia Eagles.
2 touchdowns, a highlight reel. We showed those today. Of course, was with John Fox with the Giants for a few years before he came here, but it's like his career has flourished, especially in the postseason last year. Big game against Philadelphia, the championship game, the Super Bowl, and then the first week of the season.
Another flag as Johnson connects with Stecker on 3rd and 25. Takes it out to the 38, gain of 4. Personal foul, Tampa Bay, their 6th.
Personal foul. Leg whip, number 72, offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Well, that's what you do, Kenny, when you're beat. Is, you know, you try and get the guy down, try to save a quarterback hit or a sack, and they don't miss many of these in this list. They haven't missed many penalties here today.
And Brian, the report on Joe Jurevicius, a right knee sprain, not expected to return. Mike Allstott is all right and will return. Cooper back at his own 25. Forcing Smith all the way back to the 4. Terrific punt by Tom Cooper. And Smith forced out of bounds at the 14-yard line. 10-yard return following a 57-yard punt by Cooper. As we check out what's going on today in the American League. White Sox over the Red Sox 7-2. Tampa Bay Devil Rays, who were swept by the Yankees in a doubleheader yesterday, came back 5-2 today.
Well, 5 more points than what the Bucs have put on the board here today.
Right. Twins over the Indians. Royals over the Tigers. The updated standings. What do you think?
You know, the Red Sox, you know, are still playing good baseball, but the Yankees were so hot. They just won 9 in a row, and so they pulled ahead. But I'd expect a really hot month here the rest of September in that division.
Stephen Davis on first down. And the Yankees train right here in Tampa at Legends Field across the parking lot from Raymond James Stadium. Right over in the National League, Astros over the Cardinals 4-1. Reds shut out the Cubs. Braves over the Marlins. A win for the Phillies.
Well, the Phillies, you know, competing with the Marlins for that wild card spot. They gained a game there today on it.
So the Marlins by a half game in the wild card race. John Lynch was the first player to ever throw a pitch for the Florida Marlins organization. Speaking of pitches, the pitch to Stephen Davis. He spun away from Nathan Webster and takes it up to the 22-yard line, stopped a yard shy of the marker. Well, this fall, 8 teams will compete to see what will be this year's historic moment, who will make the next unforgettable play, and what team will take home baseball's ultimate prize. Fox Sports brings you baseball's Division Series and then becomes the exclusive home for the Championship Series and World Series. It all begins September 30th, just 16 days from now on Fox.
You know, and Tampa Bay needs some rally monkeys here today. You know, and the fans kind of sense it here that if something's going to spark this team, it's going to be defense.
Third down and 1. DeLobe is intercepted by Brian Kelly. Well, you called it, Brian.
Well, they got pressure that time on DeLobe, and today under pressure, he's gotten rid of the football, and he's been good with it. But this one, he threw up for grabs. Brian Kelly led this team with 8 interceptions a year ago. And that was a bad throw. You know, he never got anything on it, didn't get his feet underneath him. And this defense has always been the spark plug of this football team. What they've always been good at, though, is after an interception, they actually have a game plan for transition fast breaks of where they're going to go with the football and who's going to block. And they practiced that. That time, just brought down by the wide receiver outside.
Kelly not only led the Buccaneers with 8 interceptions, led the entire NFL. He had 2 last year against Carolina. Buccaneers from the Carolina 28. Johnson to the end zone looking for Keyshawn. Deion Grant on the coverage, and Brad Johnson also took another hard hit from Mike Rucker, who has been in his face all day long.
And this is why Brad Johnson is not a journeyman quarterback, and why he won the Super Bowl last year. He stayed in here waiting for the play to develop and took that hit again from Mike Rucker. A lot of contact by Deion Grant there. Very incidental, though.
3 wide receivers on 2nd and 10. Johnson, pump fake, throws to the near side to McCardell at the 23-yard line.
Johnson's pass
is 5 as we check in once again with James Brown.
Hey, Kenny and Brian, after being shocked last week by Houston, an awful lot of pressure on Miami and their coach Dave Wannstedt, Jay Fiedler on target today, hooking up with Randy McMichael as Miami goes on to upend the New York Jets 21-10 and improves to 1-1. Back to Kenny and Brian.
All right, thanks, JB. In this quarter, 80 yards in penalties, only 99 total yards for the 2 teams combined. Johnson on 3rd and 5. He was looking for Michael Pittman out of the backfield. The Buccaneers will send out the field goal unit. Earlier attempt by Grammatical was blocked by Chris Jenkins.
And really the pressure right now of Carolina is totally responsible for the ineffectiveness of Tampa Bay inability to finish drives and to make key 3rd down conversions.
41-yard attempt. 2 for the holder. Gramatica. 1 for 2. Buccaneers are on the scoreboard with just over 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Panthers lead is now 9-3 here in Tampa. Four field goals, and that has been it as far as the scoring goes in this afternoon's game with the Panthers out on top 9-3. Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, we begin with America's #1 pregame show. Then it's the Bucs and the Falcons, followed by the Giants and the Redskins. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. The biggest stories are in the NFC, and the NFC is on
Fox, and the best defenses are right here on Fox. We're seeing a couple of them here this afternoon. Good defense will always keep you in a game.
Rod Smart on the return for the Panthers. Brought down by Tim Wansley after a 22-yard return. One programming note, the Panthers game against the Falcons in 2 weeks. Carolina has a bye next week, and while the Buccaneers play the Falcons next week, Carolina will take on Atlanta 2 weeks from today, and that game has been changed to 4 o'clock. Was initially scheduled as a 1 o'clock kickoff. It will now be.
How about those Falcons now? 2-0 without Mike Vick.
Redskins came back. Last minute
Redskins
touchdown.
came back.
33-31.
Wow. They had that game.
Here's the former Redskin, Stephen Davis. Redskins have not missed him yet over their first 2 games, defeating the Jets and now the Falcons.
Now, sometimes, going from one team to the next is the best for both teams because Steve Spurrier looks like that passing offense is in gear right now with Patrick Ramsey, one of those Louisiana quarterbacks. And Lavernius Coles looks like a good pickup for him. One thing's for clear, though, this division here in the NFC South is going to be competitive here. Some great defenses, and so you're going to get a lot of close games.
Remember, heading into last season, people around the country thought this could be the worst division in the NFL. Turned out to be the best. 2nd and 1. Davis fighting for the yard. He was close, out to the 45-yard line. When you asked Stephen Davis how excited he was playing for John Fox coming off the season with Steve Spurrier, his eyes lit up. He said, well, he's a defensive coach, so I know we'll run the ball.
Yeah, and this is when you kind of want to run them. I mean, you got a 3rd and 1 here. You might be able to pound that line one more time. An injury down there in Tampa, or down the defensive line there. Slow to get up, but no, I mean, this is what you want here. I mean, you got the best defense in football. You got Carolina with a great back and Stephen Davis a yard away. Fans are into it right now. Well, I guess they're going to measure this.
Remember, on the last 3rd and 1 for the Panthers, Delhomme was picked off by Brian Kelly.
See, what I would do here is I'd make a statement. Tampa Bay says if you're going to throw the ball against us, you're scared to run against it. And so it kind of plays into Tampa's hands. You got an inexperienced quarterback there making his 3rd start. But you got Stephen Davis, a proven Pro Bowl back, a 1,400-yard back in Washington at 250 pounds. I mean, I think that's what you do. I mean, you run Stephen Davis here, and you fight for that yard.
Davis, Delhomme back. Muhammad shifting. It's Delhomme on the keeper. John Fox signaling 1st down.
Good surge right up the middle there with Jeff Mitchell at center. Kevin Donnelly at the right guard position.
Time winding down in this 3rd quarter. The teams exchanging field goals this quarter, exchanging a lot of penalties as well. And they will now exchange ends. 3 quarters in the books. 9-3 Carolina. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station.
Hey, Pete. I'm Keenan McCarter, and you're watching the Bucks on Fox 13.
That's the defensive coordinator here in Tampa, Monty Kiffin, who is a walking soundbite and a great defensive coach and looking for his defense right now. He talked about the one thing he was afraid of was they haven't seen a great back in a long time. And he had him on his heels just thinking about it on Friday.
We'll see Davis Rice this year. Intercepted by Simeon Rice. The 2nd Buccaneer interception. The last 2 Panther possessions.
Yeah, and now really take a bow, Simeon. What a start he's off to this year, but we said it was going to be in the hands of the 2 defensive lines, and they're not letting us down here today. Here's Simeon going to come inside on a stunt, but he never quit on the play. Jake Delhomme never saw him. Didn't expect him to be all the way inside there.
Third career
right now.
3rd career interception for Simeon Rice. in his 8 seasons. He had one last year. Buccaneers start from the Carolina 46-yard line. The handoff to Thomas Jones up the middle. Penalty flag. Jones gained 6 down to the Panther 40. One looks to be against Carolina.
Holding. Number 98. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Shane Burton, the guilty Panther.
Watch this trap and pull by the right guard, Jason Whittle here. And watch him come over and level a trap on Mike Rucker. I mean, you know, I think they're a little frustrated up front by how poorly they've played and all the mistakes they've made. But, you know, it's a 4-quarter game, and you always have a chance when you get to the 4th quarter, if your defense has played as well as Tampa has, to make the plays necessary. Only down a score here.
From the 41, Johnson looking to throw on first down, and he was taken down. He was in the process of being taken down by Rucker, and he got the pass away to Michael Pittman.
Mike Rucker can't figure out how the ball got out. This looked like the Iron Sheik pulling him down here, coming off the corner. Look at this one-handed tackle here. Wow, that was just the old flick, you know, we see that from Brett Favre. Just trying to rescue a play. It can be dangerous at times. Great effort by Rucker. And a dangerous play by Brad Johnson.
Just flipped it up, and Pittman made the catch and gained a yard. Play action, all stop. Incomplete. Brian Allen got a piece of it. So it will be 3rd down and 9 for the Buccaneers, who trail 9-3. An update on the matchup of the defensive line.
Yeah, you know, both of them have an interception as well.
Now Wallace for Carolina, Simeon Rice with the Tampa Bay pick. Buccaneers have to get to the 31 for a first down. The pride of these flags, there have been 23 penalties that have been accepted. Many others have been declined.
False start, 65. Offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Making 24 combined penalties. And Brian, in case you were wondering, and I know you were,
yeah,
the NFL record,
curious,
most penalties, both teams combined in one game is
we're not there yet?
37. Back in 1951.
Let's hope they're not competing for that today.
There have been 32 called today, but 8 of those have been declined. So officially only 24. On 3rd down and 14, pass intended for Keenan McCardell. Terry Cousin on the coverage.
And, you know, that penalty by the center, John Wade, really hurt them on that drive. A makeable 3rd down all of a sudden becomes 3rd and longer. You know, with the protection breaking down and the number of penalties the offensive line has had, Brad Johnson in his head is trying to get rid of that ball very quick.
Steve Smith awaiting Tom Tupa's punt. Tupa back at his own 40-yard line. Again, angling it away from Smith. It takes a Buccaneer bounce. Out of bounds at the 4-yard line. 41-yard punt. And it stayed out of the end zone. So the Panthers pin deep in their own territory. They lead the Bucs by 6.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by DirecTV. Movies, music, and exclusive sports from the leader in digital satellite entertainment. By the NFL deal from Pizza Hut and Pepsi. You only get it when you gather around the good stuff. By Circuit City, we're with you. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Well, Jake Delhomme has turned the ball over on each of the last 2 Carolina possessions. A pair of interceptions. Now the Panthers start from their own 4-yard line. The handoff, Stephen Davis out to the 7. So Davis hits the 100-yard mark on 19 carries, his 21st career 100-yard day.
Had one last week. Big second half from Stephen Davis. They need him now. The crowd is into it right now. And you get the feeling that if Tampa's going to win this game today, it's going to be by their special teams and their defense.
Second down and 7. Here comes Lynch. It's Davis again. Davis gained 50 of his now 102 yards in the first quarter. Davis brought it out to the 9-yard line, setting up third down and 5.
Yeah, there's different types of rushes. You know, I mean, Stephen Davis now with 100 yards and 19 rushes, and I said at this outset, if they can rush it 25 times, they can win. But generally, when you run it that many times, you wear the defense down. But I don't get the feeling that Tampa Bay's defense is worn down at all. They're only on the field for 20 plays in the first half. I think they're fresh and up to the task.
Third down and 5. Deshaun Foster is the lone back. Now Goings shifting into the backfield. And the Panthers play it safe with the handoff to Foster. Another penalty flag. So John Fox not taking any chances. Delhomme intercepted on his last 2 pass attempts. And this is a hold against Carolina. It will be declined.
Yeah, and, you know, we asked John Fox, we said, what about Jake Delhomme? You know, he looks decisive, but, you know, with all that enthusiasm he has, he takes some risks. I said, is it worth taking the risk out of his game to take the big plays out?
Offense. Penalty is declined. Fourth down.
He said, I want to take all the risk out of it. And that's what he just did. He took the risk out of Jake Delhomme's hands there and handed it off to Deshaun Foster. And why not? The defense has played superb today. Put him back out there on the field, and we got the league's highest paid runner.
Big rush. Sauerbrunn gets it away. Taken at the 41 by Carl Williams. A lot of east-west running by Williams. Brad Hoover downfield to make the stop on special teams. 46-yard punt, only 1 on the return. Well, do you think those guys are fantasy football players? Well, now there's a show just for you fantasy football players out there with 30 minutes of who to start, who to sit, and who's the player you need to pick up on a given week. Our experts do the work to help you look like a genius. Introducing the ultimate fantasy football show, weekends only on Fox Sports Net. We know what you don't. Log on to foxsports.com for the times in your area.
Well, I know this. I know you can play defensive fantasy football, and I'd have a hard time deciding which one I would take here.
Pittman tripped up, gains just 1. Tripped up by Will Witherspoon. Well, imagine if you had Jamal Lewis on your fantasy team today or Amon Green.
Yeah, can you use some of those yards for next week?
Do you get an extra point if one of your players sets a league record?
A league record? I mean, I think there should be a bonus involved with that. We're talking about Jamal Lewis breaking the record today of Corey Dillon. 278 yards rushing in a game, now been better by Jamal Lewis.
Second and long, Johnson. Keyshawn's a pretty good fantasy player. And his face mask may have been grabbed.
Well, we've got a lot of those today.
Yep. Keyshawn picks up 11 for the first down. Eagles trailing New England 24-7.
Pass interference. Number 23, defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Well, with the injury to Joe Juravicius today, Keyshawn Johnson's going to be right in the middle, kind of just sneaking across, trying to find the opening. Stuttered a little bit. I mean, Keyshawn Johnson's not going to beat anybody in a foot race, but the ball in traffic, that is an unbelievable catch. He knew he had to protect his body because he was going to get hit and had the sticky fingers to do it.
Johnson dumping it off to Dilger. You don't think Keyshawn could beat you or I in a foot race?
Yeah, well, I think he's got us. I mean, we're talking about real athletes, though. No, it's never too late for this offense in a game like this to catch fire, to catch a rhythm. And Brad Johnson kept telling that to us the other day, that John Gruden gets him into a rhythm. And I think Brad's thrown the ball well today. They just had so many penalties that they continue to stall in their own drive.
2nd and 6 from the Carolina 42. Short drop over the middle. Caught for a first down at the 35-yard line by the tight end Todd Yoder. As we check in once again with JB.
Hey, Kenny and Brian, in case some of your audience missed it getting in late, take a look at Jamal Lewis, the young man who vowed before the game this week that he would break the single-game rushing record against Cleveland. He did it. The record was 278. He did it with 295 yards, empowering Baltimore over Cleveland, breaking Corey Dillon's record. Let's go back to two other record breakers, Kenny and Brian.
All right, thanks, JB. Here's Pittman diving across the 30.
What is he going to predict this week? How do you make that prediction?
So he go down in lore a la Baltimore native Babe Ruth, the called shot.
I want to ask him what the stock market's going to do this week.
Babe grew up a few blocks, right? Raven Stadium.
A Hub City native. Meanwhile, last week, Tampa scored both their touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And that first drive they put together against Philadelphia Monday night, Brad Johnson was perfect. He was 7 for 7, and he's in a rhythm right now on this drive.
2nd down and 5. Play action. Johnson. Not finding anyone, and then threw it away. Wanted a flag. Hit late by Brian Allen, the Panthers linebacker. I think the officials have run out of flags.
I think Brad was taking that to Judge Judy there.
Or at least Judge Walt.
Well, yeah, but he didn't have a receipt or anything with him. Yeah, I mean oh yeah, that's a late hit. That ball's out of his hands, and he gets pushed, and then he gets trampled on.
Shoved by Favors, trampled on by Allen.
It's like, well, what do I got to do here? You throw the flag and everything else.
We're down at 5 from the 29. Johnson's pass incomplete, no flag. Intended for Carl Williams. Terry Cousin on the cover. So Bucs send out the field goal unit once more.
Brad Johnson finally had a little protection. Watch what they do up here to Al Wallace, filling in for Mike. And he gets doubled, and then he gets run over there. There's 2 men over there, and that's Al Wallace. That's a backup, but they're still giving the extra protection on that side.
Ryan, this a 47-yard attempt. Dramatica hit from 41. Also had a 38-yard attempt blocked by Chris Jenkins.
Another one blocked.
The second block today, 3rd block field goal in 2 games for the Panthers special teams. So Dramatica has had 2 field goals blocked. And that's the difference in a 9-3 game.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Wachovia.
The offensive line of Tampa kind of drawing it up over there, getting ready for their next series, but this game in the hands of both defensive lines right now.
Panthers defensive linemen have blocked 2 field goals as Brad Hoover gains 2 on first down up to the 39.
Yeah, and it was Julius Peppers right inside here that gets the block. The right hand of Julius Peppers, number 90. A basketball player at North Carolina, that was just a solid rejection right in the middle.
Dramatica had only 2 field goals blocked all of last season. He's had 2 blocked today.
And that was John Fox's first draft pick as a head coach, was Julius Peppers.
Selected ahead of Joey Harrington. Panthers went for the defensive star instead of the young quarterback. 2nd and 8. Malone incomplete, looking for Muhammad.
Incomplete. 3rd down 8.
Numbers on Malone today, 7 of 19, yet the 28-year-old in just his 3rd NFL start finds himself with a 6-point lead over the defending Super Bowl champs in their home opener.
Well, you got to measure him, through the whole game here. He's going to have an opportunity. in this third down and the rest of the game to make a couple of plays. And that's what it might take, just a couple of plays.
Here comes the blitz. Third down and 8. DeLong got rid of it. It's deflected. There were 3 Bucs in the vicinity. Wansley, Webster, and Lynch.
But, you know, Jake DeLong, you look at him right there, and they blitzed him that time on a third down. You cannot assimilate that speed and that defense in practice. He's never seen this before. In his third NFL start, he's never seen a blitz that came that fast in his face with a split second to make a decision.
Sauerbrunn back at his own 25. Paul Williams from the 16. Brings it out to the 24-yard line. Flags. 46-yard punt. 7-yard return.
We'd actually gone a few plays, Kenny, without a flag.
Incredible.
Carolina's special teams have been excellent in coverage. Both teams have been excellent in coverage all day today on punts and kicks.
Carolina's had 2 weeks in a row with tremendous special teams play. They blocked 4 kicks in 2 games, 3 field goals and a punt.
Right. 2 kicks
There's
last
no
week.
foul for late hit. The player was blocked into a player by a member of the receiving team.
So the Buccaneers take over on offense. 7:16 remaining. They trail by 6. Brad Johnson and the Buccaneers offense goes back to work. 7:16 remaining, fourth quarter. 9-3 lead in a defensive struggle. First time these teams met, Ryan, last year in Charlotte. No touchdowns in the game, 7 field goals. In their second meeting, 3 touchdowns and 4 field goals.
Yeah, and today we've got 4 field goals and 2 blocked field goals. Very similar to the first game a year ago.
And no touchdowns. From the 24, Johnson on first down. Incomplete. Intended for Michael Pittman.
Well, I don't know if Carolina is the best defense in football, but right now, early this season, they've got the best special teams. You know, the 2 blocks here today, the coverage, and here's the first one today by Chris Jenkins in the middle. You know, and as a defensive lineman, every play that you're on the field, it's a defensive, it's a defensive play. Julius Peppers blocked the second one. Some dominant performances by those guys up front.
Johnson on second and 10, incomplete. Intended for Keyshawn Johnson.
You know, we've talked about the defensive line of Carolina today. Julius Peppers, Rucker, Chris Jenkins, Brenston Buckner. We haven't mentioned anybody else, but the coverage on the outside has been outstanding from Cousin and from Manning, along with Reggie Howard, and then substitute linebackers today. A couple backups starting here today. Brian Allen, Greg Favors all starting today.
Kaden McCardell shaken up on that last play. Has gone to the sidelines. On third and 10, complete to Allstott, but he's wrestled out of bounds 3 yards shy of the marker. Gain 7, needed 10, so the Buccaneers will give it right back.
You know, and Tampa Bay is spending all their energy over here trying to protect. You have to put 2 linemen that time on Mike Rucker, and he's earned that double team today. The more guys you put in protection, the less guys and less targets you have down the field to throw the football to.
You know, not only did the Buccaneers finish second defensively last year, but the year before that, in 2001, they were last.
Right.
Dead last in the league.
It's amazing. And 1-15.
John Fox came in after 5 years as Giants defensive coordinator. This one takes a Buccaneer bounce. Corey Ivy watching it roll all the way down to the 10. 59 yards on the punt and then the roll. Well, tonight on John Fox's favorite network, one of the biggest films of all time just got bigger, with special added scenes never shown in theaters. Steven Spielberg's The Lost World. See it with bonus footage. 7/6 Central tonight on Fox. Something
about the NFC is on Fox, and You know, we got promoting Fox and John Fox on the sidelines there today, coaching his biggest game, I think, as a head coach. Coming to Tampa, Super Bowl champs, on the road.
Stephen Davis, as the Panthers will try and run the clock down. We approach 6 minutes remaining. Davis gaining 4.
No, the thing about John Fox and about really free agency and these coaches that keep changing it, the coaches are big free agents now. So everybody mentioned when John Fox went to Carolina, what he did in New York. And then remember, they went back and watched tapes of the New York Giants when he coached there, looking for things, anything that can give him an advantage, because he's taking the same mentality and system from the Giants to here on defense.
And remember when the Giants played the Ravens in the Super Bowl, it was right here at Raymond James Stadium following the 2000 season. 2nd and 7. Davis looks to cut it to the outside, and he is driven down. A loss of 2 on the play. Warren Sapp with 5.5 to play.
Well, this defense wants Jake Delhomme to put the ball up in the air. You know that. They want a pass. They want a chance to pass rush in the blitz here.
Jake Delhomme, who has Aaron Brooks' backup last season, was on hand for 2 of the 4 Buccaneer losses. New Orleans beat Tampa Bay twice. And Delhomme said, we did it by running the ball effectively. We ran right at the Bucs. They beat them opening day here in Tampa and then later in the year at the Superdome. 3rd down and 8. And the Wolves pass is caught for a first down out at the 24-yard line. A huge play. Steve Smith with the reception for 11.
I tell you, the thing about Jake is he's resilient because he's not having a good game or a good second half. But he needed a throw against the blitz, and he stepped up and he delivered it. And Steve Smith is the one big playmaker on this offense. Great job of coming back to the ball, protecting it against tight man-to-man coverage from Brian Kelly.
5 of 12 in the second half, 2 picks.
This is Stephen Davis time. I mean, they pulled the reins in here. They got a couple tight ends and a fullback out there. They're going to run right at him here.
Here it comes, up the middle, out to the 26-yard line. Gain of 3, setting up 2nd down and 7. We are under 4 minutes. Buccaneers have 3 timeouts.
Milking this clock here in their favor. They need Stephen Davis with 23 carries. I said the magic number today would be 25. They'll probably get a chance to run it here. Nothing fancy, right at him.
Davis bottled up. John Lynch down to 3:15 as the Bucs use their first timeout. It will be a 3rd down and looks to be 6.
Just a defensive line comparison. We've been running it all day. This is what it looks like on our tape here today. It looks like a baseball box score a little bit, doesn't it?
Carolina with 10 runs on 9 hits, 1 error.
1 error, right? Kind of the way you read it. Both defensive lines have forced turnovers, created turnovers. The difference in this game, though, right now is Carolina's defensive line, Julius Peppers, Chris Jenkins, has blocked 2 field goals.
And Jake Delhomme on the last 3rd down play, a 3rd and 8 moments ago, hit Steve Smith for a gain of 11 to keep the clock running, to move the chains. Right here, a 3rd down and 6 following the first timeout used by the Bucs.
What's been quiet is Muhsin Muhammad down here at the bottom today.
Only 3 catches for Muhammad. Delhomme escapes and throws. It's complete to Muhammad. You called it again, Brian. Another first down on 3rd and 8. He hit Smith. On 3rd and 6, it's Muhammad for 16 yards.
Yeah, and Jake was very calm and collected on this play because the pressure came. And not that he's a great scrambler or he's a running quarterback or anything, but he's a good athlete. He felt the pressure from Simeon Rice, and that's what you got to do. You can't look at it, you got to feel it. And then Musin did a good job of uncovering when the play broke down. Very key play here, keeping this drive alive. And you don't look at numbers at the end of the day for a guy like Jake Delhomme. You look at how he manages the game in the tight spot of the game right here in the final couple minutes.
2.5 remaining. New set of downs for the Panthers. Penalty markers on first down.
Full start, 69. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
This is the
Still
25th
first down.
penalty which has been accepted today. And we will break it down for you. 7 false starts, 5 holds, 4 face masks. These are the penalties that were accepted.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was that many categories that you can have a penalty in.
Oh, there are more.
Well, there's still a couple minutes left, Kenny.
These are not all of the categories.
But that last penalty hurt because it stopped the clock, Kenny.
The pitch to Davis. Across the 40, out to the 44-yard line. And the Bucs use their second timeout after Davis gained 6. Second and 9 coming up. 2:18 remaining. As we take a look now at the many faces of Buccaneers head coach John Gruden.
Well, he's just an excitable boy.
Also a tribute to Warren Zevon there, who passed away this week along with Johnny Cash, and paying our respects to those 2 artists.
Youngest head coach in the NFL. Super Bowl champion. Davis. Out to the 48-yard line. Bucs use their third and final timeout, so they stop the clock at 2:12. Now 2:11. 1 more second rolled off. They'll have the 2-minute warning.
Stephen Davis told us on yesterday that he had 22 carries last week, went over 100 yards. And he said he hadn't been sore on a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday in a long time. But he didn't get a chance to carry it like that last year in Washington. But he's one of those backs, and that's the 25th carry here today. He's one of those backs that if you get 25, he wants 30. And if you give him 30, he wants more. But he's one of those guys that wants the football, and it's for defensive coaches like John Fox, they always want to have that big back. It always kind of goes with their philosophy about how they want to control the football game.
So the Bucs with no timeouts. It will be 3rd down and 6 for the Panthers. And remember, on their previous 2 third down plays on this drive, a 3rd and 8 and a 3rd and 6. Delhomme has hit Steve Smith for 11 and Musin Muhammad for 16 yards.
They'll protect first, though. They'll keep 6 or 7 guys in if they decide to throw it. It'll probably be a 1 or 2 receiver out.
Keep it on the ground with Davis, and he gets to midfield, about 3 yards short. As we hit the 2-minute warning. If Davis picked up the first down, Panthers would have been able to run out the clock. Bucs do not have any timeouts. Instead, Carolina will punt. Bucs will get the ball back, down by 6. Coming up following the Bucs and the Panthers, the SBC postgame show. The ball is at midfield. Sauerbrunn back at his own 35, getting ready to punt. Buccaneers will get the ball back. They trail 9-3. With 2 minutes remaining here in Tampa in the Bucs home opener. Following their 17-0 shutout victory in Philadelphia on Monday night. Carl Williams awaiting the punt. Big rush, and Sauerbrunn gets it away. Taken at the 10 by Williams. Hit hard by Paul Hankton, the Panthers special teams captain. 7-yard return, 40-yard punt. So the Buccaneers will start, Brian, from their 18-yard line with no timeouts.
Well, you know, that Carl Hankton coverage right there. John Fox said that a lot of coaches play lip service to special teams. They work on it, but they don't give special team coaches enough players. Well, Carolina kept 3 players on this roster for special teams. Gerard Cooper, Carl Hankton, who made that play right there. You know, and along with guys like Steve Smith, they've got great special team players.
Rod Smart,
who helped win the game last week with a blocked punt.
Johnson with loads of time, nearly intercepted by Deion Grant. Johnson was looking for Keyshawn.
You know, Carolina came in talking about wanting to be the best defense in this league and wanting respect, and they've earned respect today. But if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And right now, they get marched on the field, under 2 minutes to go. Tampa Bay has no timeouts. If they want more respect around the league, they've got to be able to finish a game like this out.
2nd and 10 from the 18. Buccaneers lost twice at home last year to New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Wide open in Panther territory. Carl Williams down to the Carolina 39.
Reggie Howard went to sleep at corner. And they did this last week against Jacksonville on a couple occasions. But here's Howard down at the bottom. I mean, a complete breakdown. Biggest play that Tampa Bay has had all afternoon on offense when it should never happen at this time of the game.
43 yards from Brad Johnson to Carl Williams. A minute 35 remaining from the Panther 39. Johnson can't find anyone. Throws over the middle and it's broken up. Reggie Howard. Michael Pittman wanted a flag. No flags. So it will be 2nd and 10.
Everybody in the stadium looking at the big screen to see if Reggie Howard was on Keyshawn before the ball got there. And yeah, he was. That left hand is wrapped around him there. Pretty tight. I mean, how is Michael Pittman allowed to catch that ball if he can't extend his arms because they're being grabbed?
Now 2nd and 10. This will be the 50th pass attempt of the game for Johnson. McCardell was out of bounds. Setting up 3rd down and 10. Ryan only twice last year as we take one more look. And McCardell got not get either foot in. Only twice last year did the Buccaneers go an entire game without scoring a touchdown. And they won both games. 12-9 over Carolina and a 15-0 win over Chicago.
Yep.
They have been held without a touchdown today.
Keyshawn looks a little confused down here as to what play it is.
On 3rd and 10, Johnson swings it out to Michael Pittman. Needed to get to the 29, and he did. 11-yard pickup as the Bucs move the chains with a minute 15 remaining.
Great effort by Mike Pittman that time to catch the ball, know where the chains are. A smart player and very aware here, and getting out of bounds to stop that clock. Good piece of blocking on the outside, or at least trying to interfere a little bit with Kenny Gilger out there, turning to help.
Buccaneers started on their own 18. The big play, 43-yard reception by Carl Williams. They need a touchdown. 1st and 10 from the 28. Johnson steps up and got rid of it to Pittman. Down to the 18-yard line. Clock continues to run. An injured Panther, Will Witherspoon. But he gets right back up. Does not want that clock to stop.
Well, he's losing. They get him out of there.
Hustles off to the sideline. Under 50 seconds. First time the Buccaneers have been in the red zone all game. Movement on the line.
Then that stops the clock. Allows Tampa Bay to kind of catch their breath and regroup here.
Brad Johnson asking for quiet from the crowd. Sold out crowd here at Raymond James Stadium.
The clock was running and was at 41 seconds. By rule, when we have a false start, number 85 on the offense, inside of a minute with the clock running, we will run 10 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 31 seconds. We will wind the clock on my signal.
10-second runoff rule that time. Run the clock down to 31 seconds now.
Line of scrimmage to Carolina 23 with 31 seconds remaining. Johnson's pass nearly picked off Deion Grant. Pass is intended for Keenan McCardell. Down to 25 seconds.
Well, you know, this is where Tampa Bay misses great speed on the outside. Vicious is out right now, and if there's one weakness of the receiving core is they don't have great speed. Big players, good receivers, they catch the ball well in traffic, but they don't cover a lot of ground in a short period of time.
Second and 15. Johnson to the end zone to Keyshawn. Diving attempt. He is unable to make the catch.
Keyshawn doesn't drop many of those. It was a great shot, and how he got this open down the middle. This safety's going over the top. Not to get a hand on him, not to pay attention to Keyshawn here is amazing. That should be 6 points. You know, Keyshawn just told Brad Johnson, give me please one more shot at that. I won't do that again. Tampa just had their chance to win the game right there.
Johnson pump fakes, throws. Keyshawn makes the catch. He's brought down by Deion Grant. Clock runs. Ball will be spotted at the...
They get set to clock it here, Kenny.
6-yard line. And the Buccaneers will have an opportunity for one last play from the 6.
You got to give Keyshawn credit. He dropped that pass in the end zone that could have won it, and he came right back and made a monster catch. And it gives him one more shot to the end zone.
Well, we've talked about the Carolina defense all game long. It will come down to this one last play.
Came down to the last play last week for Carolina. And Jake Delhomme made the throw. To Ricky Prohl. And here it is. I mean, you'd think that Keyshawn would be the target here. He has been on this drive.
Empty backfield. 5 seconds remaining. Johnson looking end zone. Lofts it up to the Cardell. Touchdown!
Unbelievable. And there's no guarantees here of the extra point. Not a defender around him. They all jumped on Keyshawn. 3 defenders collapsed on Keyshawn, and McCardell slipped behind everybody. Look at this. 3 defenders collapsed on Keyshawn. He was the decoy.
Now remember, in the final 2 minutes, plays cannot be challenged by the head coaches. They are checked out by the replay officials, and they may take one final
play is
look
being reviewed to determine if we have a catch.
Well, did that ball move in his hands when he hit out of bounds?
Remember, in the Super Bowl last year, the catch made by Jerry Porter. Similar catch by the Raider wide receiver, and it was ruled a touchdown.
Yeah.
Although John Gruden still thinks it should not have been.
Well, he said he's going to take it to the grave with him. But that wasn't a touchdown. But that looks like Keenan McCardell had that squeezed in his hands like he was squeezing the air out of it when it hit the ground.
John Fox immediately ran out onto the field to try and challenge, but of course he could not challenge in the final 2 minutes. McCardell definitely got both feet in, but the question is, did he have possession?
It looked like he rolled the left wrist underneath the ball and protected it the whole time.
Jim Blackwood is the replay official, and remember, for this to be overturned, there must be indisputable visual evidence that he did not have possession.
And I don't see it. I don't see it on the replays we just showed. I don't see any evidence of that.
Now remember, the Buccaneers still must kick the extra point. Carolina with 2 blocked field goals today.
The receiver has both feet in bounds and maintains control of the ball when he goes to the ground. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands. We have a touchdown.
So now the Buccaneers win with a successful extra point. If it is blocked, if Gramatica misses, we will go to overtime. An 11-play, 82-yard drive. 2 for the holder. Gramatica for the win. Panthers call timeout to try and ice the kicker, Gramatica. Keenan McCardell, who caught 2 touchdown passes in the Super Bowl, is the hero of the moment for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Brad Johnson's career-high 57th pass attempt of today's game. Buccaneers tie the score. Panthers with 2 blocked field goals. This one in the second quarter when Carolina led 3-0. And then Julius Peppers with the second Panther block. The score at that time, 9-3.
Well, you think back to last week. I mean, last week Mike Minter blocked the field goal at the end of the game as time ran out to help preserve that win against Jacksonville.
An extra point will win it for Tampa Bay in their home opener. Benjamin will snap it. 2 for the holder. And a block! The extra point attempt was blocked.
It's over. It's over.
The 3rd block of the day by the Carolina Panthers.
I think it was Chris Jenkins again in the middle, overrunning the center, Ryan Benjamin. I think this was Chris Jenkins once again. And remember, here's Jenkins in the middle. Look at that push. I mean, he was almost in Gramatica's lap at the end of that. And I tell you, this is Kosi Coleman right here, and he's got to stay in there, and he's got to take it a lot more than he did. He got lifted right out of there.
The game will be decided by 1 overtime period.
That's the 5th
Fourth quarter
block
timing
kick
rules
this team
will
has
be in
had,
effect.
Kenny, in 2 weeks.
Both teams will have 2 timeouts.
Incredible. The
Carolina
only
is the
touchdown of
visitor.
the game is scored on the final
Again, the
play of
score is
regulation. The extra
The
point
shield is tail.
is then blocked.
What is it called? The call is head. It is head. Which way? Which way? All right, put your backs to that goal. Carolina won the toss and will receive.
Well, the Buccaneers lost their home opener in overtime last year to the Saints on a freaky special teams play. This one sent to overtime on a blocked extra point. 2nd block of the day for Jenkins. We are headed for overtime here in Tampa. Keenan McCardell with the game-tying 6-yard touchdown reception with no time left on the clock. And then Chris Jenkins, the blocked extra point. Well, the Panthers have won the toss. Sudden death overtime, each team with 2 timeouts. All replays are initiated from the replay booth.
Who's got gas left in the tank here, Kenny? I mean, both these defensive teams have exhausted themselves. Who's got a little bit left on a day that started out at 114 degrees?
Buccaneers had 7 potential points erased on blocks. 2 blocked field goals by the Panthers and 1 blocked point after. Gramatica's kickoff. Taken in the end zone by Rod Smart. Thought about coming out and then takes a knee. So the Panthers and Jake Delhomme on offense. But first we check in once more with James Brown.
Hey, Kenny, a game-winning kick blocked in your game. Here's a game-winning kick that was good by Sebastian Janikowski with 9 seconds left. That 39-yarder did it for the Oakland Raiders over a valiant Cincinnati squad. Back to Kenny Albert and Brian Baldini.
Remember when John Gruden was the coach of Oakland and that was his first-round pick, Janikowski? I think they're still probably missing John Gruden in Oakland a little bit.
Well, John Gruden's Bucs now in overtime. Loss of 2 yards on the handoff. Stephen Davis setting up second down and 12. Greg Spires quickly into the offensive backfield.
Yeah, you know, Greg Spires is the guy that we talked to this week. They call him the Crane because all he does is set up shop and just keep working. You know, just the way you see a crane on the side of the road, and that's what this defense has done. They played great football here in the second half.
Panthers 1-5 all time in overtime as Davis takes it out to the 25-yard line. Gain of 7, so it will be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, you know, Kenny, I don't think that you can be conservative here in overtime. I think you have to be aggressive. Right now, I mean, they've run the ball here on 3rd down when they put the defense on the field, but this crowd is juiced. The offense looks like they found a little rhythm for Tampa. You got to put the ball in Jake Delhomme's hands and ask him to make a play right now.
4 wide receivers set. 3rd down and 5. Penalty marker.
Against the left tackle, Todd Stussy here.
So start, 75. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Now the noise levels went up over here in overtime as everybody's on their feet in Raymond James.
.27 penalties.
Accepted.
Delhomme off his back foot. Deflected, nearly intercepted, nearly caught by Steve Smith. Another penalty flag. A little bit of everything on that play.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 26. Defense. Contact to the helmet. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
And they came with the blitz that time. They came with the safety blitz. Dwight Smith coming right through here. He didn't hit his helmet. Well, he went for his arm, his throwing arm.
That call, Brian, the 8th personal foul called against the Bucs, the 7th that's been accepted.
I guess the arm did hit the head.
8 personal foul. That's got to be some kind of a record. He's left his feet just to try to get in the face of Jake Delhomme. When he went forward to throw the ball, he fell right, he knocked himself right into it. Automatic 1st down. 1st and 10 from the 35. Up the middle, it's Davis. Nice push up to the 39-yard line. Gain of 4. Setting up 2nd down and 6. The only overtime victory for the Carolina franchise back in their inaugural season, 1995, over the New England Patriots. Buccaneers had that one overtime game last year, the home opener, the loss to New Orleans.
And it's clear that Tampa isn't going to sit back and play zone. I mean, they're attacking Jake Delhomme as they should. They're turning up the heat, turning up the pressure. A blitz look right here. They're going to make Jake Delhomme try to beat him.
Stephen Davis gains 2 yards out to the 41. Derek Brooks made the tackle. So it will be 3rd down and 4.
I would expect Tampa to come with the blitz, to pressure Jake Delhomme here, and ask him to throw a pinpoint pass against tight man coverage. And if you can do that, that's a great play, and you got to give the guy credit.
Still over 90.
I'll tell you, I don't see any slowdown in this Buck defense in the 5th quarter in this kind of heat. Contribute to the conditioning.
Delhomme rolling right. Chased by McFarland. And Spires got a piece of it. McFarland the pressure. Spires on the coverage. Panthers to punt.
No, we haven't seen anybody cramping up out here today, and that's usually what you see in a game like this. When you get Sapp leaking, you get McFarland coming after him, and Hubbard is coming. Ryan Neese gets a hit. This defense hasn't fatigued at all.
This will be Sauerbrun's 7th punt. Williams back at his own 18. Guess what? More flags.
Tampa they look like they kind of initiated the move there.
False start. 57 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So this the 29th accepted penalty. Penalty yardage, Brian, 253.
I'd say it's safe to say that both these teams go to the bottom of the list as the most penalized teams here early in the season.
They are now just 8 shy of the record for combined penalties in one game.
Let him go!
Short kick by Sauerbrunn. But it takes a Panther bounce, however, down to the 18-yard line. 47-yard punt and roll.
There's the eye chart of the different categories. Here, for all you fans out there want to know what a penalty is and all the different categories, here's a good kind of a cheat sheet on it.
And you know, with all the
9
penalties,
false starts.
With 29 penalties, if it feels like pulling teeth, like getting your teeth pulled.
Yeah.
You know, the referee, Walt Anderson.
Dental surgery.
Is a dentist.
Yeah. Oh, he's doing some open canal root surgery here. Root canal surgery, is that what it is? Painful.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
40 penalties have been flagged. 29 of the 40 have been accepted.
Howie Long at halftime said, who's going to blink? Who's going to blink in this game here? Probably decides the game.
Mike Allstott gains 4 out to the 22. So the Buccaneers start this possession from the 18. Same spot they started from on their touchdown drive. McCardell catching a 6-yard TD pass from Brad Johnson on the final play of regulation. Extra point was then blocked.
Yep.
And the Buccaneers now in 2nd and 6.
Kenny, if you're going to try and recap this game in between plays, you need a timeout. There's a lot of stuff going on here.
3 block kicks, restored.
Oh my God, DC!
2nd and 6. Johnson's 58th pass attempt. Oh, flag. There is a flag. Pittman fumbled. Buccaneers have recovered. And there was a flag as well.
All the way on the other sideline. What do you think makes the highlights from this game tonight? Is it the block kicks? Is it the flags? What are they going to do with
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, number 21, defense. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 77, defense. Putting his weight on the quarterback, driving him to the ground. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Putting his weight, and that's a lot of weight, 335 pounds worth.
That's the old Saragusa rule that he did to Rich Gannon in a playoff game a couple of years ago. Here's Chris Jenkins in the middle. You don't see many big men that can spin like that. Brad Johnson has survived a storm back there today. They helped him. He tried to help him up at least. I don't know. I mean, you got to let these defensive lines play like this at this point.
Walt Anderson walking off the penalty yardage. Line of scrimmage now the 37. We are in overtime, tied at 9. Buccaneers had a chance to win the game with an extra point with no time remaining in regulation. It was blocked by Chris Jenkins, who had blocked a field goal earlier, as did his teammate Julius Peppers from the 37. And a quick slant is caught by Keyshawn Johnson out of the 46-yard line. Gain of 9 yards on the play, setting up 2nd down and 1. Deshaun's 9th reception. He's gone over the 100-yard mark. 9 catches, 102 yards. Second down and 1. All stop. Good second effort. Depends on the spot.
That's the most sure thing, I think, in the Tampa offense is with 1 yard to go, give the ball to Allstott. Just a battering ram in there. And even this isn't a sure thing against this defensive line.
Walt Anderson calling for the chains. Ball spotted just inside the 47-yard line. Allstott stopped just short.
3rd and short.
It's Warren Sapp putting the hat on, marching out there in this short yardage situation.
Sapp called for a personal foul while out on offense earlier.
I think Gruden's got a fake in him right here, Ken. Just a fake into the line of Allstott and pull it out and go down the field and try and get it all right now. Like Brad Johnson's getting a groin wrapped up here. Coming on with the wrap around his waist. Yeah, see, he got wrapped there during that last measure.
On 3rd and 1, it's Allstott, and this time he picks up the first down. Time for another game break. JB, take it away.
Kenny, Denver quarterback Jake Plummer did not look good in the Week 1 victory over Cincinnati. Was finding his groove today, threw for 3 touchdown tosses, but he did leave the game with a mild concussion. However, Denver victorious over San Diego on the road. Back to Kenny and Brian.
You know, Kenny, these players start conditioning in February and getting ready for the season, and this is when it pays off. In the 5th quarter, over 100 degrees out here. You know, a heck of a defensive showing on both sides, but like Howie said, who's going to blink here?
Johnson with time, 2 flags. That's intended for Aaron Stecker. And this one against Tampa Bay. Panthers have already set a team record with their 15 penalties. This, the 16th called on the Bucs.
Well, Brad Johnson's now healthy right now. He's got a groin pull out there.
Holding, number 67, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's wrapped there, and that's another holding on the offensive line here. Another show of the dominance here of this Carolina defensive front all afternoon. But, you know, you throw the ball with your legs, and you just don't know right now how much, whatever is affecting him, how much it's going to affect his throw speed. Not a very good wrap either.
Following the penalty, first down and 20 from their own 39. Another flag, the Cardell in Panther territory. That's about a yard shy of the marker. Seems like the officials are getting together after just about every play.
Yeah, well, I think they just... And now they got... Now this is crazy. This is stupid. They got to get Julius Peppers out of there. That is just stupid football there on Julius Peppers' part. I think they might throw him out of the game right now. I think he threw a punch. Yeah, John's saying, be smart here. Come on. We still don't have what the penalty call is, the original penalty.
There is no foul for a chop block. The second block was at the waist. Therefore, all that action is legal. We have a completed catch. First down, Tampa Bay.
All right. One guy can't hold a defensive player up while another guy chops him below the waist. And there it is. And that looked like a chop block there. Chris Jenkins, who just got cut on the play, did a great job of rescuing his teammate and keeping him from getting thrown out of the game. That looked like a chop block, though, to Chris Jenkins in the middle.
Peppers now on the sidelines. Cool down for a play or two. Second down and 2 from the 43. Aaron Stecker picks up the first down. Buccaneers getting closer and closer to field goal range. With 7 minutes gone by in overtime. Nearly 300 yards in penalties. Tampa Bay setting a club record for penalty yards. Panthers team record for penalties in one game. Johnson has thrown a Buccaneer record 58 pass attempts. And the Panthers have blocked 3 kicks. Last play of regulation. Brad Johnson hitting Keenan McCardell. Game-tying touchdown. And then Chris Jenkins, who had blocked a field goal earlier, blocks the Gramatica extra point attempt, sending the game into overtime. Kavika Pittman, the former Bronco and Cowboy, is the injured Panther. He was in there replacing Julius Peppers on the play.
He got cut right here. And that's another chop block because the tackle or the tight end was engaged with him, and McCardell came and cut him. And that's why you have the chop block in to protect guys from getting hurt.
Here's Jenkins, who blocked 2 field goals, blowing past Benjamin, who you saw. Long snapper.
Well, I don't think that Tampa Bay can feel comfortable at anywhere on the field with that operation going out there.
Jenkins blocked.
I've never seen 3 blocks in a game before, ever.
I don't think I've seen 2.
Well, we saw 2 last week. You know, Carolina blocking a punt and a field goal, but I've never seen 3 blocked field goal extra points.
Here's Stecker, and he is forced back by Jenkins. Quite a forceful game this afternoon.
Yeah, and we talk about the heat and the conditioning. Jenkins hasn't missed many plays out today. I don't know how many snaps he has, but you don't see guys 330 pounds conditioned like this to play at this level for this long. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy that big play this hard, make this many plays in a game, and under these conditions. A lot of firsts out here tonight. They want that record, Ken.
False start, offense, number 19, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
The heat might not be affecting the conditioning, but it's affecting, I think, a lot of the concentration out here today.
.32 combined penalties have been accepted. 17 committed by Tampa Bay. Second down and 15. Short drop, short pass deflected. Intended for Keyshawn. Brenson Buckner got a piece of it.
You know that. Well, you come in and you see, you know, one of the big threads of the game is number 1 versus the number 2 defense. And you think, okay, we'll see a good defense. But, I mean, it's so dominant for both sides of the ball out here today. It's remarkable how dominant both defenses are in a game like this today.
Buccaneers have to get to the 26-yard line for a first down. Johnson changing the play at the line. And the pitch goes to Stecker. You think he was potentially going to throw the ball?
I don't understand that call. I mean, Brad Johnson's thrown it how many, 60 times? What the heck, put it up there again. And they're going to march their defense out there, and I think that's what John's saying. We'll take our chances with our defense. You know, without Juravicius, I think this offense loses a lot, too. a big target across the middle. I know Brad Johnson would love to have that option right now.
Gervicius injured that right knee earlier. Tupa punting from his own 47 and keep it away from Smith again. Fielded by Smith at the 8. Smith still on his feet. Down the sidelines.
Wow.
To midfield. Brought down at the 41.
No flags.
51-yard return by Steve Smith.
And we said to John, will you punt to Steve Smith? And he goes, I hope not. But this is a breakdown here by Tampa. Not to squeeze him on this when that ball bounced. Like they let up a little bit. This guy has been to the Pro Bowl as the punt returner. Well, and he's strong. They said that he's a big man in a small body. He's got a very strong legs and a strong lower body. He broke a lot of tackles there to demonstrate that.
Panthers don't have to go very far to get into field goal range for John Casey. Stephen Davis on first down gains 9 yards down to the 31.
Well, one of the battles in training camp for Carolina was that kicker, where it was Shane Graham and John Casey, who's come back from being out of the league, from 2 serious knee operations, and they said it came down to John Casey was 4 for 5 in the preseason, and Shane Graham was 2 for 5, and we just wanted the guy that we felt a little more comfortable with.
Casey has hit 3 field goals today from 28, 35, and 20. Panthers shuffling in personnel, and now they call timeout with 5:36 remaining in overtime. We check in once again with James Brown.
Kenny and Brian, Donovan McNabb and the Eagles have not found their groove at Lincoln Financial. McNabb today here throwing a pick to Teddy Bruschi of New England, who takes it back for the score. McNabb's numbers, 18 of 46, 186 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, sacked 7 times, and 2 fumbles lost. Back to Kenny and Brian.
Wow, the Eagles drop to 0-2, and they have a bye next week.
Yep.
Jake Delhomme over on the Panthers sidelines with 5:36 remaining. John Casey getting ready. Stephen Davis, 141 yards on the ground.
Yeah, and you'd expect a dose of Stephen Davis here. This is too early to kick the field goal. But I would expect them to continue to run them on plays just like we just saw. That little 36 and 37 bob that they run.
And the 141,
not even in the game right now.
141 matches what he did against the Bucs 3 years ago.
Well, Stephen Davis was part of the Washington Redskins 3 years ago when they beat Tampa Bay in overtime, and he was a big part of that.
Panthers continue to shuffle in personnel. Rod Smart and Brad Hoover now in the backfield. Davis on the sidelines. 2nd down and 9. Muhammad in motion. Rod Smart. And Smart pushing his way down to the 25-yard line. Under 5 minutes left here in overtime. Panthers in Jake Delhomme's first start as a Panther. He's thrown for only 96 yards, 2 interceptions. Stephen Davis looks like he's ready. 141 yards on the ground.
Well, they're on the right hash. I would expect them to run left. Try to keep the ball as much in the middle of the field as they can and set up a straightaway shot for John Casey.
From this spot, it would be a 42-yard attempt. They'll look to pick up some more yardage here on 3rd down and 5 and then kick. And Davis running towards the middle. Down to the 23, so it will be approximately a 40-yard attempt for Casey. Casey, the last remaining original Panther from their inaugural 1995 season. As you mentioned, he's been plagued by injuries. Did not finish 3 of the last 4 seasons.
Hasn't been in this situation of a pressure kick in a long time.
He has 2 career overtime game winners, the last coming in 1995. Officially a 41-yard attempt. Sauer on the holder. Penalty markers before the snap. This will be penalty number 33.
False start, 75. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
Not Stussy, so it becomes a 46-yard attempt now. Solid run will set up at the 36. A 46-yard attempt. John Casey in overtime. Casey's kick wins it in overtime for the Carolina Panthers.
Final score.
So the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their home opener. In a wild game, 33 penalties. Buccaneers tie it on the final play of the fourth quarter, and they lose in overtime, 12-9.
And the Panthers win on the final play of the offense last week with a touchdown to Ricky Prohl, and then a field goal this week. Winning games that they used to lose, and what a heartbreaker for Tampa to score in the last play of the game and to miss an extra point.
So the Panthers make it 2-0 as they head into their early bye week. They'll take on the Falcons in 2 weeks. It'll be the Buccaneers and the Falcons next Sunday. Tampa Bay dropping to 1-1. 12-9 the final in a defensive battle. The SBC postgame show is coming up.